What's up, guys? We back at it again. I got my boy Thomas is a GOAT, myself, Dan the Man, and we got Crispy CREE in the flesh for like the 50th time. Like we talked about shout outs about Crispy CREE Musty Matt. Unfortunately, we don't got his brother here, Musty Matt, but we got Crispy CREE in the flesh. It don't matter. You're our first guest. This is special. Okay.
Big moments, big moves.
Big moves. You know?
We had to bring a special guest on, our boy CREE, Chris. But getting into it. To start it off. I just wanted to
continue. No, don't cancel it. That's good. That's good. Leave it.
Alrighty, getting into it, we wanted to start off how we usually do with our daily lives. I've been working this week. I've had off a few days, luckily enough, but per usual, that's really what's going on with me. Work. My boy Daniel.
I've been working Target. That's really been it. Hanging out with this boy. And recently, today, this boy, Crispy CREE. What do you have to say? What you been up to?
Fall break. Nothing crazy going on. Last week got done talking to a girl, which is pretty cool. She's gone now. One-way ticket to Blocksville.
These hoes ain't loyal.
See you sometime, I don't know. But I got my mom's wedding coming this week.
Ooh, okay.
Saturday, it's gonna be fun.
Congratulations.
Yep. Nothing else past that really. Just been doing college stuff. Doing a little bit of programming for events. That's about it.
Word. One thing we can start about. We went thrifting today. That's a good topic we can talk about.
I can't talk about anything. I didn't get anything.
But besides that, I got a trench coat and a nice little Hawaiian shirt for $21. Pretty nice. That was fun. My boy Chris got some nice gray boots / dress shoes. Really nice, real
Business casual.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a little denim. I forget the brand, but it's nice. Little denim jacket. Comes up to my waist. Pretty tight.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, our topic for today was gonna be.
Please stop, man.
Okay, that was
cringy.
cringy. That was cringy.
Now we leaving that in though.
Okay, we are.
And I'm zooming in on you doing that.
Of course, per usual. But we wanted to get into the college life. Ooh, spicy stuff gonna be on this episode.
I'm too young to understand.
We're keeping it spicy for y'all. We gonna be we out here. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I do know about my cousin right here, he is in a fraternity. He is a brother. If you want to talk a little bit about that, you don't have to go into too much deep detail, but what you do for the fraternity and the friends you've made in the fraternity, if you want to shout out any of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really going to shout anybody specific out just because there's a bunch of good guys that I've met through it, but fraternity, it's a good experience, it's helping me become more social, more outgoing, which I'll touch up on later. But I'm not really doing much for my fraternity specifically, although in the future I plan on either running for like our standards, which is like our judicial affair, or our programming, our vice president of programming, so I'd be putting on events for the fraternity. One day we'll see, but right now I'm an exec for the Interfraternity Council, IFC, and I had an event last week, but nobody really came out just because first one, and it was right before fall break, so everybody, they were gone. But that's pretty much how that's been going. We had our brotherhood retreat the weekend before this past one. That was good time. A lot of brotherly bonding going on, if you will. I got to roam around Gatlinburg.
Meet.
At the nighttime. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and it's on to bigger and better things now. We have Halloween coming up, and we'll be doing our few events during Halloween, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, one inside.
Listen, bro.
Yo, come on, y'all. Dude, we really do this, man. This man. And so then what new experiences have you gained in college, and what new friendships, all the relationships, the ins, the goods, the bads, the ups, the downs. Let's hear it, my brother.
I mean, we'll start with the downs, get that out the way real quick. So you know, I've learned not to be so trusting of people so quickly. You know, I still give my trust to people pretty quick, but kind of learned to hold it back a bit. And you know, last year I had some friends, and I kind of realized one of them just kept trash talking a bunch of the people, you know, and eventually got myself out of that friendship. There is still one friendship that I'm a part of that's kind of, you know, I wouldn't say it's like anything, but it's not beneficial, which is what I look for. And you know, it's not like it has to be a beneficial as in like I'm gaining money or I'm gaining anything like that, but it's just sometimes it kind of weighs me down.
Yeah.
I'm learning, you know, that's one thing I'm learning to just cut out is people who weigh me down.
That's really what life is when it comes down to it.
Yeah,
cutting out the negative.
Yeah, I mean, last week I cut out a big negative. You know, she has a name, but she can't be referenced on here.
We'll call her the she-devil.
I wouldn't go so far as to call her the she-devil. She was nice, and you know, I did spend a month with her, and I enjoyed it. But she showed me how much of a bitch she could be. You know, and no disrespect to her. You know, I'm sure that's just how her previous relationships went down. But I had no room for it. You know, and last year I don't think I would have been able to, you know, make that kind of action, you know, put my foot down like that. But because of how much I've grown and the people I've met, and, you know, I won't lie, like, you know, last week, Wednesday, she was, you know, kind of messing with my head a bit, but I had good friends with me, and, you know, they kind of told me how it was, and I put my foot down. She's out on her bigger and better things, I guess, but, you know, college, it's just been one big experiment, as I say, but you know, it really has been, and it's been a good thing, I'd say, overall. You know, it's a great thing. You know, I don't recommend it for everyone because it isn't for everyone, but you know, if
I mean, it's good to hear that you're having a good experience. I mean, I've seen you grow in the last year and a half, insane amounts. I love to see it. I love to see my brothers eat.
Huge glow up.
Shout out. Nah, but we love OG CREE, OG Chris, on God, Gangsta Breezy. But, I mean, so, you know, college isn't for everybody, but my boy, he's getting through it. He loves it. He loves doing it. I love to see him grow through it, you know what I mean? And we all have different life paths. One thing I will say, another thing I wanted to talk about today was sort of how we all grew up together and came to be. And how really us three have technically lived pretty far away from each other for some portions of our life. Like my boy Chris was in Alabama at one point, and I was all the way in Miami. And Daniel was all the way in North Carolina. But by the grace of God and God's plan for all of us, as we've actually gotten older, we tend to actually live somewhat closer. He's still a good drive away, but I mean, when he does come down to our area, he's either 20 minutes or potentially even like sometimes 2 minutes, depending on where he's staying, where I'm staying, where Daniel's staying at the time. But, you know, I really do thank, first off, our family, and thank God for like allowing us to grow up together, because we have such a diverse group of cousins that like just speaking to them, you gain knowledge because we've all experienced different things, and that's how I experience it. And I kind of wanted to hear how you guys have thought about growing up with, you know, being in this close contact with all 18 cousins, you know what I mean?
I would say, besides the point, growing up with y'all, when I didn't have you, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna use the word Chris used earlier, I was a bitch. Still am, and learning how not to be. Right. I was always.
Continue.
Okay. But before them, I was always running around crying. I never went outside. I was always playing video games. And then when they came over here, they kind of toughened me up over the years, and it resulted in being who I am now. And I would have it no other way because I wouldn't want to be that. I say it to this day, I only had female role models around me growing up before it was them. Okay? So I thought I was gonna end up gay. For me, I love Jesus, so thank God I'm not.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. That's how it
Besides
affected
the
him,
point.
y'all. He's letting y'all know. I asked him a question. He's saying his truth. If you feel some type of way about it, get over it.
Comment it.
Think about it. You grow up 9 years of your life with not even it's that it wasn't even that he was surrounded by female role models. He was surrounded by females in general. And as a young boy, we all crave other boys to play with. You know what I mean? And
Pause.
okay, that was pause.
That was-
Major pause. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about weird, but you guys know what I mean, man. Like you crave the
Young
sense
friends.
of yes, you
Young
crave the
friends
sense
of the
of being
same.
in a group of your boy, like you know what I'm saying when you're with the boys. And so then you're 9 years old. You've only been surrounded by females. Even the few cousins that are your age around are female. So you try to play with him. It's easy, and you do get along with him, and we still do to this day. But
To this day.
you know, then your two older cousins show up who are when did I show? I was 13, and the other one was 15. I mean, that'll change your life in a few months. Yeah, me and Nick showed up.
Wait, he's
And
2 years older than you?
2 to 3, yeah.
New knowledge, see? What we say. Just by talking to each other, we
Look.
gain new knowledge.
We learn every day.
Every day.
Doesn't matter how big or small it is.
But but so you know your two older cousins show up. I mean that's life changing right there. Your two older cousins who me growing up, I grew up in Miami, surrounded by my older brother, all his friends, all my friends. So you know that's kind of like for real a life changing portion in an early portion of your life. And that's what's led us to today, anyways, making this podcast, anyway. So we're grateful for it all. But what would you say, Chris?
To be honest, I mean, growing up, it's just been. I always surrounded myself by a few people just because I didn't know how to break out. And I attest, there's a few experiences that I attest to me breaking out of my shell, but I kept it close, Like he said earlier, he was a bit of a bitch, so I didn't associate with him that much. No disrespect. That's just how it was.
Yo, calm down, big guy. Calm down, big guy.
Like, when he was younger, he was an only child, and he was a typical only child. He grew out of it, which I'm very thankful for the most part. But
Why is he roasting me?
and growing up, I kind of just kept it between like Thomas, Nick, his older brother, and my brother Matthew, and sometimes Junior, but Junior I didn't talk to that much just because we didn't have the same interest. But eventually, and with them, it was a good group of friends. That was my group of friends that I could always hang out with, especially when you're younger. We have a bunch of fun stories from summertime, but
so many.
I've found, in this past year and a half, I've started talking to all my cousins, which has been nice because it's not that I didn't see them. Ooh, this is gonna sound weird. It's not that I didn't see them as people, but I never went out of my way to talk to them, so I didn't know anything about them. But I've started to try taking the time to know each one of them just a little bit more, even if it's just a 5-minute conversation, which I think is important. Just having a conversation with somebody, even if it's only for 5 minutes.
I agree.
Like but that's just kind of what I see in the family is, be able to have a meaningful conversation with a lot of people. Although that kind of goes for all my life, like in all aspects, because even at college, I'll end up staying up for 3 hours. Shout out Simon. There was one weekend, him and I, we didn't know a thing about each other. We just met each other, and this weekend we spent at a retreat. We both nights, 2 or 3 hour conversations, and didn't matter what it was about. We just had them, and then eventually it was like, okay, yeah, you know what, we gotta go to bed. But we could have kept talking until dawn. But it's just family, and outside of family, I think it's just conversations for me that make up life.
Nice, yeah. Connections, genuine connections. But, I mean, that's really all we got for today, y'all. But I'm going to shout out the socials real quick. Shout out to the TikTok, blank thought 6. Instagram, blank underscore thought 6. And the X, blank underscore thought 6.
So, all right. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's podcast. Our very first guest was a very special guest to us, Crispy CREE, again in the flesh. You'll see him again in a future episode. We have better equipment, and trust me, when we said we were working on better equipment and uploading 2 podcasts,
it's coming soon. It's coming soon, y'all. It's
trust
coming.
me, we've already got it in motion.
Plotting.
We've got many ideas for the future.
Making moves behind the scenes, y'all.
But enough of that. We'll see you all next time. Peace.